Beneath the surface of Japan's vibrant cities and traditional towns, renowned for their rich history, technological prowess, and distinct culture, lurks a remarkable phenomenon in the real estate sector. Certain homes on the Japanese property market are priced considerably below their expected value. These attractively discounted residences draw a diverse group of prospective buyers and renters, including foreigners and the elderly, lured by the appealingly low prices. However, their interest often wanes once they uncover the truth about the properties. These aren't ordinary residences. They're termed Jiko Bukken, or stigmatized properties, homes marked by distressing incidents that left a residue of more than just memories. Externally, these properties blend seamlessly with their surroundings, but their histories narrate a contrasting tale. They are houses scarred by unfortunate events such as unnatural deaths or even gruesome murders. Welcome to the intriguing world of Jiko Bukken, a unique intersection of real estate, cultural norms, and human reactions to sorrowful incidents. In 2015, while working as an English teacher in Tokyo, a Reddit user by the name of Sisi Tokyo was on a budget while looking for a place to live, aiming for a rental around 50,000 yen, or approximately $470 per month. She was drawn to a surprisingly spacious apartment for Tokyo's typically small living spaces that was listed for an impressively low price of 45,000 yen. In her eagerness to secure this deal, she rushed through the contract process without even bringing a translator to understand the rental's details. Initially, she found the apartment comfortable, despite occasional strange noises like knocks and scratches during the night. Attributing these to animals on the roof, she dismissed their initial feelings of fear. However, these sounds gradually increased in intensity, sounding like footsteps and scratches within the apartment, which led to the user sleeping downstairs out of fear. Despite the growing fear and belief that the apartment was haunted, the user decided to remain when a friend needed a temporary place to stay. During the friend's stay, the unexplained noises ceased, providing the user with relief and leading them to believe their fears were a result of anxiety from living in a new country. However, the strange occurrences returned when she was alone again. One night, she was startled by a loud thud, as if something dropped in the loft, followed by the terrifying sound of what seemed like someone running diagonally across the room. In fear, she fled the apartment, spending the rest of the night outside while talking to her father on the phone, who tried to reassure her that they were probably just hearing things from a neighboring apartment. The next day, the user found nothing out of place in the apartment, and exhausted, she went to sleep in the loft. Upon waking up, she was shocked to see a woman sitting next to the bed, moving her lips as if speaking, but no sound was coming out. Assuming this was a hallucination caused by sleep paralysis, the user tried to move, only to discover that she wasn't paralyzed. This was no hallucination. The apparition disappeared as suddenly as it had appeared. Shaken, the user spent the rest of the day outside her apartment, confiding their experience to a friend. Later in the evening, a conversation with a neighbor revealed that the neighbor had also heard the running sounds and casually asked if the user was aware of the woman who died in their apartment. This led the user to research and discover that their apartment was listed as a Jiko Bukken, or incident property, a designation given to properties where recent deaths had occurred. It turned out that a woman had been murdered in the apartment years prior. This revelation added a chilling context to the inexplicable sounds they heard and the apparition she saw. After this horrifying revelation, the user swiftly moved to a new place and was more careful in checking the history of the property before renting. She concluded her post by expressing hope that future tenants of that apartment would not face the same terrifying experiences. Jiko Bukken is a term that sends a chill down the spine of many potential home buyers in Japan. But what exactly does it mean? Translated as stigmatized property, Jiko Bukken defines a particular type of property available for rent, distinguished by the grim detail that a death occurred there. These deaths are often traumatizing, where the person dies in solitude, murdered, or by... The culture of fear in Japan is so vast that, according to beliefs, it is through these tragic deaths that the yurei, a terrifying ghost, arises. Jiko Bukken can often be found in convenient locations, and due to their history, they are sometimes 30 to 40% cheaper than other apartments on the market. But before laying down your cash and declaring that you're not superstitious, it's worth knowing what you are about to get yourself into. It's worth cross-referencing your potential apartment with the Oshamaland website. This website features matter-of-fact descriptions of the things that cause the psychological damage to your potential abode, and lets you decide if your sanity can handle living there. Jiko Bukken buildings come with a number of names, all of which reflect the Japanese ability to understate the severity of the incident. The most common catch-all is Jiko Bukken, which just means something happened on the property. But there is also Shinriteki Kashi Bukken, which means psychologically defective property. The term can easily be confused with Horitsuteki Kashi, which means legally defective property. This describes apartments with visible flaws such as foundation cracks or those that failed a safety inspection. Admittedly, choosing between physical or psychological horror is not a particularly pleasant choice. The term jikoshi is the most common one. This describes an accidental death in the home. Naturally, there are a lot of things included in this vague description, from the mundane to the horrific. Bizarrely, most of these are on the upper floors of tall buildings. Similar accidental deaths can include koshosagyochu, which are accidents suffered by someone working in a high place and typically describes a workman who was killed during rebuilding or cleaning the apartment. Things then get a bit more sinister. Kasai describes death in a fire, and netsuchusho is a heatstroke death. Another bizarre one is tebi muji jujai. This means that the house was used as a recruiting spot for cults or other sinister organizations. While these apartments may initially seem attractive, after all, most cults and criminal gangs in Japan are reluctant to recruit foreign people. This vague designation can often hint that your apartment will be a small, safe place in an ocean of surrounding cultist activity. If accidental deaths and deranged cults don't make you reconsider, there are the things that will definitely make you pause and reconsider your options, namely dead bodies. If you see shitai iki or shitai hakken, it means a corpse was found there, while furan shitai means that a rotting cadaver was found. Jinkotsu hakken is the discovery of human remains, usually when the place is being renovated. Teijisatsu is inside the residence. Tobi ori jisatsu is jumping to one's death, and kubitsuri jisatsu is by hanging. Even worse are the deliberate deaths described with matter-of-fact descriptions. Fatal stabbings, strangulations, instances where some poor, unfortunate soul was beaten and left to die, starvation, and dying alone from neglect all have specific terms. The fear of the unknown, the superstitions, the cultural beliefs all play a part in the perception of Jiko Bukken. It's a complex issue that goes beyond just bricks and mortar. But to truly understand Jiko Bukken, we need to delve deeper. We need to explore the cultural, legal, and personal aspects that surround these stigmatized properties. In Japan, where Shinto and Buddhist beliefs are prevalent, the spiritual world is deeply intertwined with the physical. The idea of living in a place where death has occurred is unsettling to many. Shinto, the indigenous faith of Japan, places a strong emphasis on purity and cleanliness. Death is seen as a source of impurity, and homes where deaths have occurred are often viewed as tainted. Buddhism, another major religion in Japan, also has teachings about death and the afterlife. The fear of disturbing the spirits of the deceased can make Jiko Bukken undesirable. These cultural and religious beliefs have a profound impact on the perception of Jiko Bukken. The fear of the unseen, the respect for the dead, and the desire for a peaceful home all contribute to the stigma attached to these properties. But it's not just about fear or superstition, it's also about respect for the past and for the lives that were lived within these walls. This deep cultural significance makes Jiko Bukken a unique phenomenon in the Japanese real estate market. The theme of haunted houses is not new and is present in many cultures worldwide. Most horror films begin with a family arriving at a property where they are warned that something tragic has happened there. This notification is a routine procedure required by law in many countries. After the death of an individual in a property, the Japanese legal framework requires that the first tenant be notified of what happened in the property, even though the second tenant is no longer required to be informed. In Japan, a significant business has been built around this issue. Some sites specialize in marking places where tragic deaths have occurred on maps. This has promoted the emergence of an alternative market for haunted apartments. It is so prevalent that real estate agents have a unique Jiko Bukken catalog. In this section, interested parties are shown available apartments where previous residents met a tragic end. It may seem an exaggeration, but many of these properties have not been re-rented for years. The world of Jiko Bukken is not just about cultural beliefs and personal perceptions. It's also governed by a set of legal rules that add another layer of complexity to this unique real estate market. In Japan, real estate agents are legally required to disclose if a property is a Jiko Bukken. This law is designed to protect buyers, ensuring they are fully aware of the property's history before making a decision. However, the law only requires disclosure of incidents that occurred within the past 5 years. This means that properties where incidents occurred more than 5 years ago can be sold as regular properties, without any mention of their past. This legal loophole can lead to a complex and often secretive real estate market. Buyers may unknowingly purchase a Jiko Bukken, only to discover its history later. The legal aspects of Jiko Bukken highlight the challenges faced by buyers, sellers, and real estate agents in this unique market. It's a delicate balance between transparency, buyer protection, and the desire to give these properties a second chance. Jabutsu Real Estate specializes in these homes, places that all have a very dark history. The real estate agency explains it intends to revive these properties and turn them into valuable real estate once again. The company estimates that houses where natural deaths occur are reduced in price by up to 20%, whereas if a murder takes place in the property, the sale price is as much as halved. The landing page for the estate agency looks like any other, bright and slick, but delve into the listings and matters get darker. On each property listing, Jabutsu describes the incident that took place, sometimes in morbid detail. Customers can search for properties based on a star rating system, which ranks the types of incidents that occurred in order of severity. For instance, properties where incidents or accidents transpired have just 2 stars, whereas the sites where a murder has been committed receive 7 stars. One apartment in Hyogo Prefecture is up for sale for 13.99 million yen. It's described as a lonely death property where the deceased's body took more than 72 hours to discover. Meanwhile, a house in Shiga Prefecture is available for rent for 65,000 yen per month. A murder took place in the building, the listing notes. The agency reveals that another murder took place in a 6th-floor apartment in Tokyo's Minato-ku district, which is listed at a sale price of 15.9 million yen. Incidents linked to other listed properties include people dying in fires and by... The company, which was founded in 2019, has a special cleaning SOS service with experience in dealing with body fluid stains, offensive odors, and pests that appear in cases of lonely deaths, accidental deaths, and murders. This cleaning service restores the site to its original condition using special chemicals and equipment. Despite the stigma, there is a market for Jiko Bukken. Some people, particularly foreigners or those unaffected by the stigma, see these properties as a bargain. For foreigners unfamiliar with Japanese cultural beliefs, or for those who don't subscribe to these beliefs, Jiko Bukken offer an opportunity. They are often significantly cheaper and can be found in prime locations. There are also those who see potential in these properties. With a bit of renovation and a fresh start, these homes can be transformed. The past may be tragic, but the future holds promise. And then there are those who, out of necessity or choice, have made Jiko Bukken their home. Their experiences vary, with some reporting strange occurrences, while others have lived peacefully for years without any issues. The market for Jiko Bukken is a testament to the diversity of perspectives and needs. It's a market that exists in the shadows of the mainstream real estate industry, but it continues to thrive nonetheless.